It's a sunny day out here in Semenyih, and we're here with JAECOO, the latest brand to show up under the Chery umbrella. Now, JAECOO is very clearly a more upmarket proposition from Chery. However, what they want to point out is the fact that these cars are off-road capable, which is why we are out here, and that's why the car looks like this, and we're about to go out and see just how good this car is off the beaten track. My name is AIMAN ABDULLAH, this is Malaysian Motoring, this is our media preview of the JAECOO J7 off-road. So one of the things about the JAECOO J7 is that it's got a fantastic all-wheel drive system. Now, one of the challenges here is actually to show how capable the all-wheel drive and traction control system is with a three-wheel roller test. Now, how this works is it will essentially suspend three wheels by putting them onto rollers, minimizing or in fact taking away traction altogether, relying on just one wheel to pull the car out. So we're just going to gently bring ourselves onto these rollers. Now, okay, so now we're on just three wheels. So now I just have to apply, hang on, gone a little bit too far. Okay, so now that we're on three wheels, all I have to do now is just apply a steady throttle input and the car will simply sort itself out. And that was relatively undramatic. Now, I've driven quite a few vehicles on off-road courses, and I have to say that for the price point that JAECOO is going for with this, it's doing surprisingly well. That was fuss-free and drama-free as much as you'd expect, which means that maybe this is more capable than we might initially assume. So now we're on what they're referring to as a frame twister test, or an axle articulation test. So in addition to seeing how the car figures itself out, it will also suspend two opposing wheels, allowing the all-wheel drive system again to figure out where to send that power based on where it can figure out there is traction. Now, I'm in just a mud off-road mode, and that's it. I'm not doing anything else aside from applying throttle and ensuring that the car remains straight. There is quite a bit of twisting, but despite that, the car is remaining, quite straight and true. Although I think I may have taken this a little bit too aggressively, but the car still seems to be doing perfectly well. So far, so good. Okay, so now we're moving towards what's called a side slope test, where the car will be tilted at up to 28 degrees to show that despite it being a high-riding off-roader, it still has a decently low center of gravity in order to ensure maximum air capability even on an off-road course. So unfortunately, there's an instructor on my left who is really trying his best not to say anything as I drive along, as not to spoil any of the footage that we're getting here. But so far, again, everything here feels pretty good. I'm amazed at how fuss-free the JAECOO is handling all of this. Now, a lot of commentary has been given about off-road vehicles from China, but I have to say that this JAECOO is doing impressively well. Now we're just going to go down a slight slope on an unsealed surface. So, okay. I still have a wheel in the air and the car is going down quite predictably. I just have my foot on the brake and all good. This is very impressive. And now we're lined up with the water wading test. Now, there are two sets of this, so we'll be driving through a slightly shallower portion here, and then later we'll be given through a taxi ride on a deeper portion. Now, the JAECOO J7 can wade up to 600 millimeters, and the deepest wading depth here is up to 550, which will be taxied through later. But for me to drive, they've given me a wading pool, in essence. So this is about 300 millimeters, which is similar to what you get in PJ when it rains. And again, very fuss-free. Underneath this water, there is a clay surface, so traction is not really too big of an issue here. But I'm impressed with how effortlessly this is doing it, because of course there have been some crossovers who will hiccup and stutter a little bit with a little bit of water, but this is going through this without any issue, any hiccup whatsoever. This is a very capable car. So that is basically all I've been allowed to drive myself so far on this track. The slightly more challenging bits for our safety will be relegated to a taxi ride, so we'll be giving you the footage of that in just a second. But so far, so good. The JAECOO J7, again for what is ultimately going to be used primarily as a city car, is doing really, really well. And I like a crossover that's capable like this. So now we're going to do a ridge breakover test. Now this is not something that I was allowed to do earlier, but as you can see, we're going to essentially have one wheel cocked in the air to go over this. And this is again a test of wheel articulation, also chassis rigidity, as well as the traction control system. So as of right now, out of the windscreen, I can only see sky. Whereas here, you can actually see what's going on underneath the car. So that gives you extra capability when you're going over this sort of thing. So there's no obstacle underneath the car that you might not be able to see. So now we've got yet another wheel cocked in the air, and as you can see, the J7 is doing this completely fine and unflustered. I think I'm more nervous than the car is. That's just the ground there. Now it's a little bit unsettling, but so far so good. This car is very capable. The last time I drove a car like this was a Land Rover Defender. So for the J7 to be doing this impressively is impressive. Ooh, cool. That's quite nerve-wracking to feel the car fall over like that. And now we're heading into the water wading, where we'll be going through 550 millimeters of water. Now, the J7 is capable of doing up to 600 millimeters, so we shouldn't have too many issues here today. Now the car's in position. Now we're waiting for cameras to be ready. Oh, why are we switching off the air conditioning?
Because we want to avoid water sucking.
I see. Okay. I see. Okay. Cool. All right. So now we're all good. Car's ready. And this is very deep. I'm just going to have to move up. Good Lord. That's... Whoa. That is well up the doors. And no water ingress. So I guess that's a good sign. I guess this ensures areas like Shah Alam, flash flood shouldn't be an issue lah. Yeah, this is very impressive. All very good. No fuss, no drama. It just gets through it. This is very, very good. So as very clearly proven on this little off-road track, the JAECOO J7 really can hold its own. In addition to being quite strong and rigid in terms of its construction, the electronic capabilities as well as the all-wheel drive system will ensure that even what is ultimately going to be sold as an urban cruiser can do a lot more than you might initially assume. Now, the JAECOO J7 is still not yet on sale. However, tentative prices are expected to start at 150,000 ringgit for the front-wheel drive model and 160,000 ringgit for this, the all-wheel drive. Let us know in the comment section below if you think this is something you'll be doing with your JAECOO J7, and more importantly, how soon do you want us to do a full review? In any case, that has been our little media preview off-road of the new JAECOO J7. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so you're notified every time we make a new upload. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. You can join our new WhatsApp channel. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you in the next one. Take care, stay safe and have fun.